gonna die. Going too fast. I'm taking 3.
I'm going for the St. Louis now.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch.
You get your 2?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today we are going to take a look at a battle in a Farragut. Yes, it has been a long time since we've taken a look at a battle in a Farragut, and today as well, you'll notice I am divisioned up with Rommel as well. Yes, Rommel is playing some more ships, which is great. Always good to get, more friends into ships playing it around. So anyway, you can see we're on trap, and it wasn't an ideal situation for us in Farraguts. We have some tier 8s to deal with. So, things weren't necessarily looking too great. Now, given where we spawned, Rommel and I just decided, yeah, we are going to head right over into A immediately, and that's where we're going to head off to. And it worked out pretty well for us. And, what you are able to do with these American destroyers, well, really the American and Russian destroyers, is specifically at lower tiers because they don't necessarily do that much damage. And when you find yourself in this situation, when you're, pretty much out-tiered, the biggest thing, I guess, that you can hope for or that you would want is to be able to stall the enemy. If we can stall the enemy, this would be fantastic. If we can't stall the enemy, that might not be so great, but we're going to attempt to stall the enemy. That isn't, that's the plan, but that's not what we expected up here at C right away. We actually expected up here at C to go fairly smooth. We didn't think that there would be, too many enemies up here. We figured the enemies would probably go A and B, leaving C relatively uncontested. At least that's what we were hoping. So moving into position, you can see the island directly in front of me. Not this island here on the starboard side of the ship, but the island directly in front of me. This is the island I'm going for. I'm trying to get it behind this island. If I can get behind this island, then I can use it as cover, which will go a long way in helping me survive, and I can get into the cap and potentially cap it, maybe even lock it down. Just deny it from the enemy. Sure, we won't be able to take it either, but deny it from the enemy so that they won't take it. As long as they keep one enemy ship in cap, it'll be a stalemate, essentially. So that's what we can hope for over here, and that's what we're going to attempt to do anyway. Now, Rommel is coming in right behind me, so I don't have to worry too much about being on my own. We can see an enemy destroyer pops up there right away, so we're going to start engaging this enemy destroyer. It has been a while since I have played any sort of American destroyer. In fact, the last time I played an American destroyer, I think, was the last time team battles were out on live server, and that was quite a time ago. But anyway, I was a little shocked when I recalled the firing arcs. They are a little crazy. Just a little crazy, but once you get used to them, it took me a few rounds to get used to them, but once you do get used to them, yeah, whatever, it works for me. You just have to give your targets a whole lot more lead than maybe you would be used to in some of your other ships, but it still does work. So we managed to get behind the island here. We have taken a bit of damage because the enemies have spotted us. They're kind of on to what we're trying to do, but there's also a third destroyer here. There's an allied destroyer right there, so this is fantastic. So that allied destroyer has dropped smoke. I'm about to drop smoke. You can see I'm dropping smoke now. And what essentially has happened is my smoke merged into that allied smoke, and the allied smoke has merged into Rommel's smoke. Yes, because Rommel is behind us, remember. So we now have a nice little highway of smoke here that the three destroyers, we can all just hide in here and fire in on the enemy ships. The biggest downfall here, of course, is that I'm in a Farragut and I don't have that great of a range with my torpedo. So, some targets I'm not going to be able to continue to fire, or I'm not going to be able to fire torpedoes at, but whatever. I can still fire my guns. And in fact, the shores that we just saw did look like he was actually going to be coming down to deal with us a little. So maybe that shores is incoming, and maybe I'm going to be able to fire off torpedoes at him. You never know. Anything could happen. So we're in our smoke. We're feeling pretty good. You can see torpedoes are coming in from the other side. Obviously, the enemy knows what's going on at this point. And I'm saying to Rommel, it's like, yeah, we gotta get out of here. The smoke's not gonna last forever. We just saw some of the smoke on the port side of the ship fade away. There goes some more. So yeah, we are going to get out of here. So I know that my smoke is going to be up for a little longer. Rommel's might be up for a little longer as well. I need to quickly come out of the smoke, and I know as well that there's a shore somewhere over there, and you can see an ally, so I don't want to torp the ally. But then quickly back into cover into Rommel's smoke. We have another enemy destroyer off, and we are going to fire at this enemy destroyer. Unfortunately for our ally, that allied cruiser did get sunk, but whatever. Hopefully, maybe we can avenge that ally, do a bit more damage here. And that's something too that I find that, you know, just personally I need to get better at with these gunboat destroyers, is actually racking up damage with the guns as opposed to torpedoes. Right now it's easier to rack up damage with my Bliskowicz and the Kiev, obviously, but the Farragut is capable of doing a bit of damage, quite a bit of damage. Maybe not so much in this tiering, but still. Still, it would have been nice to do a bit more damage, but you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. Anyway, Rommel and I essentially have gotten out of here, right? We both pulled away. We're both still alive, and the enemies still don't have this northern cap. And in fact, my team has both A and B. So there's yes, A and B. So this is fantastic. We have the cap lead. We, you know, are going to gain more points than the enemy. We actually do have a ship advantage at this point in time as well. And we might even decide to circle back in and continue to harass the enemy at A. Without even realizing it, this battle, without realizing it, I guess up until this point in this battle, we essentially have gotten ourselves into a pretty ideal situation in just trying to hold back the enemy, stall the enemy, right? I'm not necessarily, at least I wasn't looking for any, you know, big kills or anything like that. All I want to do is stall the enemy. I'm firing off random torpedoes, figured what the hell, why not? We are moving, the plan was to group up with these allies down here, right? You can see Rommel is in front of me, and as well we still have our allied destroyer there as well. So to group up with these guys and maybe make another strike in here on A. So the enemy finally manages to cap A, so we're going to try and go in there and contest it, do something about it. We have planes coming in from the enemy aircraft carrier, which did really suck, and I'm trying to avoid the planes right now. You'll notice that yes, I do have my anti-aircraft guns on. I should have been cycling between on and off, like we've seen, like we've seen before happen in the channel. But I just forgot about them. But whatever. The anti-aircraft guns on a destroyer, specifically the Benson with the defensive fire ability, is actually quite surprising and quite useful. I didn't think it would be as useful as the 5th gun on the B hull of the Benson, but it has its merits, that is for damn sure. But down here on the Farragut, we don't have any sort of defensive fire ability, but whatever. We don't need to worry about planes, at least for now. So you can see I am continuing along into B, right, or at least towards B, but I'm still keeping an eye on A. And this is generally what we were doing more or less for the rest of the battle, was just keeping an eye on A, right? We're trying to ultimately get back into A and start contesting it. Unfortunately for us, we do have this enemy Benson. In fact, a lot of the enemy destroyers are up here at A as well. So it's not even a matter of, you know, maybe distracting 1 or 2 ships. We have distracted a number of ships, and, you know, one of those ships just so happens to be a tier 8 Benson, so that does kind of suck. And I'm sorry, ally, I didn't realize there that I was going to first ram you and then shoot you. I apologize. If you are watching now, sincere apologies. We do see the enemy Mitsuki pop up. Now the Mitsuki obviously is going to be a destroyer that I was very interested in taking down. Mostly because it's a destroyer that I should easily be able to take down as long as I can land a few hits on him. So that's the plan. We'll notice as well that, you know, I'm still skirting on the outside of B here, but I am getting myself closer and closer into a position for A, right? Just to continue to harass A a little more. We still have Rommel up, and Rommel is also continuing to harass A. Then I spot that Atlanta and tell Rommel immediately that we need to take down this Atlanta, because this Atlanta is just going to eat us alive. So instantly, you know, everything shifts. I'm not going to be able to continue firing at the Mitsuki. I've got the Benson here firing at me as well, but I really need to take down the Atlanta. If one of my allies could take down the Atlanta, that would be amazing. And in fact, I believe that that is just what has happened. The Atlanta has gone down. The enemy Atlanta, anyway. One of our allies did save us there, so fantastic. We did really need that Atlanta to go down. So I'm duking it out right now with the enemy Benson, trying to land a few shots, but more importantly, just trying to get the hell out of here. I don't have very much hit points, and the Benson, could land a few hits on me, and then I'd be gone. So I'm just trying to get out of this whole situation here. Group up back with Rommel, maybe hide in some smoke for a little while. You never know, right? Normal sneaky destroyer things. So I managed to get out of sight of the Benson. I still am within range of the Benson, so yeah, I'm going to continue to fire my guns. Why the hell not? Any bit of damage here that I can rack up in the Benson, I figure is going to be well worth it. Now the Benson seems to be turning off, which is great. Maybe I won't have to deal with the Benson. Nope, turns back in. We may still have to deal with this Benson. Now we notice another enemy destroyer over there as well, so that's more threat to us here that we're going to have to worry about. And you'll notice too, or maybe you've noticed on the minimap, that Rommel is actually in the enemy cap. That's right. And we are contesting this cap. We may even cap the cap. So this is fantastic. This entire battle again, without even really realizing it or wanting it up here at this cap, we have managed to just stall the enemies, ball them up, right? The rest of the team, I mean, obviously it wasn't all down to Rommel and I, then no way. The rest of the team, while we were up here with other allies as well, up here pinning down the enemy, keeping them busy, contesting the cap, the rest of the team was taking the other two caps, which is incredibly important, and they were killing the enemy ships who didn't come up here to the north. So that is also incredibly important. So it was a really good team effort game here going on. Again, the AA guns are crazily going away. I'm trying to get in here and save Rommel. You can see I popped my smoke too soon. I should have held off on it and waited until I actually got into the cap and then popped the smoke, because that way I could actually have more smoke in cap and be able to make better use of it. As we'll see shortly, I do end up having to turn out of the cap, which did kind of suck. We have a Molotov here in front of us, so we're going to need to deal with this player. I'm on really low health, so obviously, one shot from that Molotov there, and I could probably go down, so I wanted to avoid that whole situation. Molotov's on really low health and on fire, so maybe a few more shots, and there we go, Molotov goes down. I managed to get the finishing off blow, so that's not too bad at all. Get ourselves back into smoke. You can see Rommel's engine is gone, and he is able to make use of the smoke here as well, which is fantastic. I did get out of the cap, you can see there, and yeah, maybe popped my smoke too early. Maybe should have actually got into the cap before I did it, but whatever. We have another enemy ship bearing down on us here. Luckily, the enemy ship doesn't see us because we are within the smoke, and we have the benefit of having this allied cruiser here with us. This cruiser support really is helpful and appreciated. Unfortunately for Rommel, the cruiser captain was a little too concerned with actually trying to put rounds down range. It didn't realize that he was pushing Rommel right out of the smoke at a pretty inopportune time for Rommel, considering Rommel had just repaired his engines and didn't need to take another hit and have those go down potentially. But still, all's well that ends well, I suppose. Both ships managed to make it away. Rommel's still alive. We still have the York going here as well with us, so great. We're going to try and maybe push through the smoke here with the York, see what we have on the other side. We know that there's at least 2 enemy ships. Took a few more hits there. There's the enemy Mitsuki. Maybe I can take this player down. Again, I'm in the smoke here, so it might go well. We're going to launch off some torpedoes there on the enemy cruiser, and then we'll get our guns back over to the enemy Mitsuki. Few hits on this Mitsuki, and I might be able to get the kill. I'm already sitting at 1 kill, but it really wasn't my kill. I mean, I just, happened to have shots go in and finish them off. If I could kill the Mitsuki, I'd at least feel a little good about that. There we go. Shots go in. Mitsuki's gone. Fantastic. Yeah. Did my part for this battle. Points are almost fully gone here. We have more torpedoes going into another enemy Atlanta, and we need this enemy Atlanta to go down as well. So as you can see, shots going in from Rommel and myself. Rommel gets the finishing blow there, and that is fantastic. Don't have to worry about that. Suddenly, this enemy Amagi, which I had no idea was there, pops up and yeah, fires in, takes me down. I had no idea that Amagi was there, but whatever. Pretty lucky shot. managed to take me down, but we still have Rommel going here, so we quickly switch over to Rommel. You can see the points are almost at 1,000 now. We are at least over 900, so victory is pretty much ours. The enemy did manage to take control of the C cap zone once again, but it really doesn't matter, does it? For the majority of the battle, we have held the other two caps B and C. We have a pretty significant lead in points. In terms of ships remaining, it's 4v3. We do have our aircraft carrier remaining as well, which is pretty great. But the enemies as well are making pretty good use of their aircraft carrier as well, right? You can see the aircraft carrier basically stuck over Rommel to keep him perma-spotted. And this is really something that destroyers hate. It's something that every destroyer captain just loathes. They do not want it to find themselves in this situation. And it's usually in these situations too where the cursing starts taking place towards the allied aircraft carrier, in that, what the hell are you doing, buddy? Why aren't you saving me? We can see Rommel's engine is gone and he has very little hit points remaining. There are I think that was actually the last of the dive bombers incoming, which is pretty lucky for Rommel here. Almost have total victory here, just a few more seconds remaining, and then victory will be ours. And not too bad of a game at all. I mean, definitely not big in the old damage dealt section, but that doesn't always matter, right? That's not always important. I really enjoyed this battle because of the victory and how we got the victory. And you can see I was rewarded pretty decently for that, right? 215,000 credits, 4,700 experience. Not that I need the experience. I do have the Mahan. I've just never sailed out the Mahan. Rommel and I finished 3rd and 4th overall, which is pretty decent as well. I mean, Rommel was saying he didn't have much damage dealt at all either, and actually he was quite surprised with the amount of credits he had earned in the battle as well. But you can see just by, stalling the enemy, being that thorn in the enemy side really can pay off, and it really does lead to victories more often than not, right? Gives your team more room to be stupid, I suppose. Is a blunt way of putting it. But you can see too, when all said and done, 129,000 credits is what I do end up taking back to the port, which is always great, because more credits is always awesome. Anyway, folks, that is today's video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to leave any comments you have for me in the video comment section below. I love reading those and responding back to them. Remember to hit the old like button if you did like today's video. Hit subscribe if you are not a subscriber. And as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.